This is 9-3, solving quadratic equations using square roots. Your objective today is that you will be able to solve the zeros using the square root method. To start off, we have the warm-up. And for this, we're going to solve equations using square roots, then determine the number of real solutions of the equation. So number 1, we have x squared equals 36. Number 2, we have x squared equals negative 16. And for number 3, we have x squared equals 0. If you have not done these yet, go ahead and pause this and attempt them. Once you're done, you can resume because we will be moving on. Alright, so in order to do this, what we need to do is we need to kind of find the square roots of these. That's what this really kind of is saying to do. And so to do this, to kind of solve, I'm going to take the, and actually let me change colors here so that the people that maybe look at this afterwards can see, oh, okay, this is what we're doing. We're going to take the square root of both of these. And what a square root is it's simply asking what times itself is this number. And so I get x equals, and the square root of 36 is 6. It's also something else, and this is where kind of a lot of people get messed up, is yeah, it's 6, but there's actually something else that we can plug in that will also give us 36. And what that is negative 6. And so a lot of times the ways that we're going to show this is x equals plus or minus 6, and that says positive or negative 6. Okay. Number 2, we have x squared equals negative 16. And if we do that, we just kind of start off and go, hey, square root of this, square root of this, square root of a negative. Oh, wait, we can't do the square root of a negative because we can't go anything times itself to make a negative number. And so this is where the idea of an imaginary number comes in. And so if I was able to, let's just say, take out that negative, and we can represent that with an I, a square root of a negative we can just represent as an I, then we could do, we could do the square root of 16, and we'd have that x squared thing. And it's really, again, it's not just I square root of 16, which winds up being 4. It winds up being plus or minus I, not root 4. Oops. It's plus or minus, and we typically will write this with the coefficient out front followed by the I. And so, and I didn't do this with number 1, but with this, there are actually no real numbers here. And for x, for number 1, these are 2 real solutions. Okay. For number 3, I can still do that square root. So I do the square root of x squared and square root of 0. But the square root of 0 is 0. And so I get x equals 0. And it's not really plus or minus 0. Like, yeah, there is like kind of like this idea of a positive and a negative 0. But we don't really go into that. And so for this, again, it seems like we should say, hey, there's no real solutions. However, in this case, there actually is one. One real solution. And that's the warm-up.